Hi everyone. Now today's planner page for me didn't look that Halloweeny really. Sorry, my light's really glaring there, but anyway, so I've decided to try and colour it with a Halloween theme. I'm going to start with some pastels. I've got them here to the side, as you can see. Now these are the Mungyo pastels. There's a link in the description if you want to have a look. I'll just show you the tray. Get a nice selection. They're quite small, but you get a nice selection of colours. What I'm going to do first is do some pastel background on this, and then I'm going to colour with some glitter pens. You'll see, hopefully it'll work. The idea is to get a sort of Halloweeny colour scheme theme going. So I'm going to start with the lightest orange. I shall show you the oranges. They're here, look. And there are some browns here. I'm going to start with this light sort of yellowy orange, sort of turmeric yellow really, and then I'm going to add some darker bits after, depending on how it sort of goes really. So I'll pop it there and you can see what I'm doing. What I do with my little pad, cotton pad, is rub on the pastel like this, okay, until I get a fair bit. I'm going to do that a little bit more. I don't know if I was going to start with that one or this one. Never mind. This one is the one I am doing now. And I find this is rather less messy than scraping them onto the paper. It takes a bit longer to get a nice amount of pastel on the page. Now, I don't want the page moving around all the time because there's a possibility I could even rip it out of the book or screw up the edge. So I'm just going to grab another pad and just hold the page with that. The reason for this is just in case you haven't used pastels before or don't know much about them. If you get grease on the pastel, it looks different. I don't want to have grease and it makes sort of greasy fingerprints. So that's not the effect that I am after. So I'm going to rub it here. I hope the noise isn't too irritating. I know I was doing this once when I was on a Skype call to my family and they said they couldn't hear each other because the noise of me rubbing the pastel on the paper was so loud. So I had to just stop. I'm terror. I always colouring during family Skype calls. So I'm trying to do a layer of this first. I'm not making it even. I don't want an even background. I want an uneven background. Now with pastels, I talk you through. Now they do come off. They don't set into the paper and settle in like a pencil. They will, I need to hold that there I think. They will come off onto the facing page. Now because this is a planner, which I don't use the planner side of the pages at all, then I don't mind if a bit of this comes off on the facing page. However, it will come off on your hands and things and smudge around, and if you put a greasy fingerprint on there it will spoil the look of it. So a lot of people will use a fixative. I've got two at the moment that I use. One's nearly running out, so I bought a new one and I'll show you them in a minute. I'm just going to leave that there for a moment and I will show you my fixatives. Oof. This one is Loxley. I like this one a lot. It leaves the paper slightly rough, which means if you try and pencil on it after, it's a bit tricky, but it's a workable fixative and it dries quite quickly, which is good, but it smells really bad. You have to use it outside and leave your book outside. This one is a Degas fixative and it says it's odour free. I disagree. There is an odour, but it doesn't hang around for very long and it doesn't seem nasty. But you can use it on everything, but it's very, very wet. It's not an aerosol, it's a pump spray. It's very wet and it always makes my pages curl, which is okay because you can press them back, but it takes a long time to dry. So you can't do a bit and then leave it for a minute and do a little bit more. You have to wait for it to dry overnight or something like that. So both of them have advantages and disadvantages. Now I want a different colour in this background, a bit of a darker orange. I'm going to use this orange, which is the next one along, which is a bit darker. I've turned my cotton around so that I've got a clean piece. It doesn't really matter that much. I'm just going to do some areas that are a bit darker here and there. Like that. The joy of this is because we're going to be penning, is that a word? Colouring over. It doesn't matter if it's a bit uneven. It will work out, I think. I have faith in my plan. I'm just going to do a little bit of sort of browny orange from down here. I'm thinking maybe that one. As you can see, these are fairly vibrant. You do need to make sure you've got a fair bit onto your pad, but it keeps my hands a lot cleaner. That's really not showing up yet. Let's go again. It keeps my hands a lot cleaner, and my book, there's less bits and mess, I find, with this method. There we go. I'm going to leave that there. Now this one I've used is pretty clean. I'm going to put that back in my for next time. I am just going to put the lid on my pastels so that I don't spill them all over the floor. I have done that before. It was not fun. On the carpet as well, I say, not just the floor, the carpet. And some in my lap. Right, so my next step, I've got a lot of layers of paper in here. These are 3 pages of my son's homework. Hopefully he did promise me he didn't need it. So, and what I'm going to do is use these pens now to fill in some details. I'm going to lean on some paper. I'm just trying to find a bit. There we go, I've got a bit in my pad. I'm going to lean on some paper so that I don't get myself messy and make a mess. And I've got 2 of these Pentel glitter pens, and I thought they might work well. So I'm going to use this one for the flowers. Now this is a black gel pen with metallic red glitter. Now with my light on such a glary setting, you will hopefully be able to see the effect of this, but I will tip it to the light anyway so you can see it once I'm done with this one bit. Now I haven't, until today I didn't really think about Halloween and glitter, but actually why not? I think this is quite fun, this colour. If you don't have any light on it, it does look black, and I think that's okay for Halloween. And then if you do have light on it, it looks red, which again I think is great for Halloween. So I will finish this flower. It's taking me a while because I'm a bit stretched because the book's quite far away from me. But yeah, and hopefully it will go with the orange and it will work. But you can tell when I finished, you can look and decide. Oops, out of the line she goes. So there's the black with red. This one is green and metallic blue, and I think it will work. There is a nice orange which would work well in this set, but mine's run out. I used it for a background and for some other bits and bobs, and I used it all up. It's a problem with pens, they seem to run out a lot more quickly. So you can see it's a sort of bluey green colour, so I'm going to zoom in and tip them to the light so you can see. Now I'm not going to use a fixative on this page, but you might want to do it either before or after this stage. I think we're zoomed in enough. Here we go. So when it's tipped to the light, you can see it's very shiny. If I turn my light out, you can see it looks a lot blacker, and it doesn't want to focus now. It's dark, but you can see how different it looks. But I think it's quite fun. Let's put the light back on. There we go. Actually, if I tip it that way, you can see the difference. Sorry, it's getting really blurred. But I'm going to do the whole page in this colour, in these colours, and I think they're quite fun. It's a pity this one isn't greener, but I think, actually, do I have a greener one? Bear with me a moment. Pretty sure this one might be greener. I'm just scribbling on my bit of rough paper. that one, see when tipped to the light, that one looks green, but it does look blue when it's not tipped to the light. I don't think it's that different, to be honest. So I'm going to stick with the one that I was using, and I'm going to do the whole lot, and then you can have a think and see if you like. You can always use just a normal green glitter pen or a green metallic pen, anything you like, but it's good fun. And I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to do the whole page. It will take me a while, I think. Pens always seem to take me ages. And then I shall take a photo so you can have a look and see what you think. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Have fun with the page, whatever you decide to do with it. And happy colouring.